And here we go. How are you doing? Here's hoping that all is well with you from wherever you're watching us. Many thanks for joining us from wherever you are. This is Debate 411, and it is definitely that place where we put issues on the table with one particular aim, and that is to have different thoughts and views on those issues with a particular aim of finding amicable solutions to them. Here is where we also agree to disagree. My name, as always, is Eugene Anangwe. Now, before we get deeper into today's motion, I have a plea to make. And of course, we all know about Edmund Kajire. And of course, what we're doing right now is to appeal for financial support for his urgent liver cancer treatment. And it's very simple. If you feel like you want to donate or help, this is what you need to do. All you need to do is send in your mobile money contributions to the number 0783 62 9198, or you can definitely transfer some funds to his account, which is 0000 41 042 307923. The numbers will keep flashing on your screens. Just if you feel like you want to contribute, you can definitely do that. Now, back to the business of today. We are talking about the issue of technology, and the motion is technology a threat to our culture? And what we're going to be doing today in the program, we have students from Fawe Girls School who are saying no. They are opposing the motion. And with us is none other than Agnes, who's from Fawe. Welcome to Debate 411.
Thank you.
You okay?
Okay.
Feeling good?
Very.
And also with Agnes is Daniela. Daniela, welcome to Debate 411.
Thank you.
And the gentlemen from St. Patrick's Secondary School are proposing the motion. We have Confident. Welcome to Debate 411.
Thank you.
Confident enough to face the ladies? Yes?
Yeah.
All right. Super duper. And we also have Junior. Welcome to Debate 411.
Thank you, sir.
So my work is very simple here, to listen to each of your sides and to hear you tell me how you feel technology is not a threat to our culture, and of course to listen to you tell us why you feel technology is indeed a threat to our culture. And so we'll start with the proposing side. Why do you really feel that technology is a threat to our culture?
Thank you. First of all, I feel technology is a threat to our culture because modernization and technology to our culture, they are there to remold the culture. You know, they are changing what was in the past. They are making it to be the present terms when they are changing the customs we used to follow. Yeah, like I can say in traditional dances, those traditional dances were just there to make the traditional people, those people of the ancient days, to make them happy, to know each other. Yeah, but these days they're used like in earning money. Those people are learning traditional dances to go dance for the wedding ceremonies. Then they're changing our culture that was there to make people happy into earning money from those cultural customs.
But where is technology there? Where is technology in that point?
And that point means technology. In that point where they changed that, technology is that money they earn. It's running them into that technology they need. Because if I was dancing for you to make you happy, today I go dance for you to give me money. I need some stuffs to make some materials. I'm going to buy some materials for technology. Not I'm going to buy some materials for making my culture go on.
All right. And Agnes, listening to what he says, do you see any sense in that point in terms of how that is because of technology that is happening? Do you agree with that point?
I don't agree. You say the priests that used to dance, the traditional dances you're saying. Yes, you said that they used to dance just to entertain people, to welcome people like families and whatever. But you know, if you're in a wedding, the families who have gathered together, they dance. So they welcome the troop to dance just because they are remembering of their culture. They are doing their culture. So you can't tell me that the technology is also, that technology is taking the culture now. Because through the tradition dance, they're entertaining people, and also spreading our culture.
Confident, your friend needs backup here. Can you back him up? Why do you really feel that technology is actually a threat to our culture today?
Depending on what Agnes said, it's like she said that family, when a family is there, they just dance. But the other songs they used to dance, they're not just like these ones we are dancing. And the movement for late songs, they are not just the movements of today or new songs which are there. So technology has changed our culture. Yesterday we used to use drums, but today we are using guitars. So, and even if yesterday we used to dance this traditional dance maraba, this means today we are dancing maybe other new songs, other new versions of dancing. So I'm really sure that this way of dancing has really changed our
cultural values.
Yeah.
Daniela, what he says is that, listen, before, long time ago, we would compose our songs using our traditional available materials. But today, because of technology, someone goes to the computer and they create their beats, and it's no longer that authentic. It's no longer that cultural. And that is why I feel technology is a threat to our culture. This is what Confident is saying. Do you agree?
No, I don't agree. First of all, because that technology, we have culture, we get the development. Yeah. So he says that before we were having the drums, but nowadays we have the guitars. That's an innovation, but it doesn't mean that we burnt our drum. We still use them in different parties, different events. So we didn't eliminate them. Even our culture is still there preserved, because you shall go in to find different crews of dancing traditionally. Even the people, they are still wearing those long skirts that they used to call imikenyero during different parties and events. So the technology doesn't bring anything which are our culture, but it brings some innovations. And technology, I've told you that with culture, it raised the development. And also I know that confidently and surely that we need the development, as our country needs the development. We shall have it by using the culture, even also the technology together.
Daniela says we are mixing the two. And so we need this development. So technology is now actually marrying together with these cultural values that we had. We have not forgotten about our drums. We still use them, but we are modernizing it. We are upgrading it. This is what they're saying.
But we are not still using them like the way we used to use them in the ancient days. These days, they are modernizing the thing. You know, they are bringing in guitars, they are bringing in pianos, they are bringing in those songs which were used to be sung in the past years, and they are making them so modernized, where when you bring an old grandmother of the ancient days to the modern day, she says, what is this? This is not the culture we used to have in our days. That means the culture is being abandoned, and they are bringing in the modernization, and the technology is being brought up more than the what? More than the ancient days, more than
in the olden days.
In the old days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Daniela, you brought up that idea that we are not forgetting. But he says, Ariko, if you bring the grandmother, Umkechuru, Wachera, if she was to listen to today's music, they'll be like, this is not what we used to listen to. Things have changed. Okay. So how do you explain that and say that this is not technology that is killing it?
Still, they have not changed. Because also we used to listen to Igitaramo on Radio Rwanda. Yes. Do they change the Igitaramo? Do they change the different songs of traditional? Let's take an example of Cecile Kaidebga. Did she change her song because we got the modernization of the technology? No. Her songs are still there. Even others, they are proving their talent of singing the traditional songs. So the technology didn't, and also it shall not affect badly our culture, but we're still there developing it. But I think that why he's saying that it has been distracted, it's because he sold us innovation songs which are not sung in the same way as our traditional songs. But there are no elimination of our traditional songs. They are still there. We still listen to Ibitana on radio, but maybe he didn't get an opportunity to listen to them. But me, I still focused on, because I listen to them. Even I listen to the songs which are traditional. Even also, I know that they are very influenced in creating different songs of our tradition. Even in dancing, I'm sure that they are influenced and they are doing it right now.
Confident. You're the ones who just don't want to listen to Radio Rwanda and the Gitaramo. You're the ones who are choosing not to listen to cultural music. This is what they're saying. But tell me again, what else makes you feel that technology is actually a threat to our culture? He shot the first shot.
Yeah.
Time for you to shoot the next one.
Technology is a threat to our culture because today's family conversation has changed. It has really changed since you can get in a person's house, a real man's house, you sit in his living room, yet when you're sitting there, his children are using WhatsApp, they're using Instagram, there's no one talking to you. It's like everyone is using his phone, then you're sitting there like you're watching them, not even talking to them. So that is technology. It really changed the conversation in our families.
So conversations have changed. We are no longer a unit. We are now a family of WhatsApp generations. This is what they're saying, and this is not cultural.
Okay, I just want to assure them on one thing. Culture is for the people, not for the culture. So are just adopting something which is useful for us. So if, for example, I can give you like long time ago, you were like living in Butare and I living in Kigali. So do you know the time it will take for the message from Butare to Kigali? It could take a long time. So we are adopting something which is useful for us. For what we need is development for our people, our country. So you think this thing of this, like I'm a further and the one to advise my children.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're adopting. This
So
is a
it's
debate,
an
right?
adoption.
This is a debate.
Yes.
We just discussing on something. Someone who's watching is just getting the information. So we're adopting something useful for us, but not living a culture.
We are adapting something useful, and we are upgrading based on changings of times. This is what the argument is. Do you agree?
No, I don't agree. Just because today, if you see, those, my colleague said about the conversations in our families. Today you find that even the young boy at home doesn't know well the Kinyarwanda language. Because of what? Because of the conversation at home. You find people, they don't use their language these days at home. They use different languages from other countries, being Swahili, being English or French, those international languages. You find that every home today is using the international language more than the Kinyarwanda language, where they could encourage their young kids to speak their original language. When they speak their original language, that means they are promoting their culture. But when they are abandoning their original language at home and they speak the Swahili, the English, and the French languages, they are now promoting this modernization and technology of languages in our culture, whereby we are abandoning our culture. And you find that he has said about the WhatsApping, the Facebooking, and those technology stuff used to chat with other people. You see, today you find that, like a real gentleman, like the way he said, he comes at home, greets other kids, greets his kids. How are you kids? Fine. He comes and sits like this, then open up his iPad, he starts clicking until time for eating, they eat. After eating, no more conversation. No more conversation. They just eat. After eating, he comes on his phone, he clicks up to the time of going to bed. You find that even a kid who needs to tell him, Dad, I need this and this, he doesn't have that time to hear about that. He's just busy WhatsApping and Facebooking.
So Daniela, technology is killing our family values and family cultures.
Okay.
This is what he's saying.
Firstly, I'm going to talk about the conversation. The conversation is still there. They use those WhatsApp, those children, even their mothers or fathers, they use those WhatsApp during their leisure time, but not during the conversation time of the family. Because if there's WhatsApp and those different Facebooks or Google searching, if they are there for occupying them all the time, there shall not be those different parents who attend the Akagoro Bakababji should not be there, but they are there and all. And also, I want to say about the thing that they are saying. You see that a small kid nowadays used to say English at home without saying Kinyarwanda. To say English, it doesn't mean that they say English because they didn't know Kinyarwanda. Because even here, we are debating in English, but I know Kinyarwanda. So that doesn't mean that we didn't know our language. We know it, but we want to develop. Therefore, after developing, we shall come to our language as China have used it. Because we know that nowadays, China is the Chinese language is the one which is spoken in the whole world, mostly because 3% of the Chinese live in different countries. So we shall act as China, and then after developing a country, we shall also back to our language and spoken it. But speaking English or any other language doesn't mean that we didn't know our language, Kinyarwanda. We know it because also here we are saying English and also we know Kinyarwanda.
So up to this point, the ladies still feel like you are not giving them valid points for them to agree with you that indeed technology is a threat to our culture.
She said that we have to develop ourselves. When we have to develop ourselves like Rwandese, this means we have to first forget our culture, then go to develop our country. So this means the generation which
She's nodding her head. Is that what you said?
No.
What did you say?
I say that the technology go hand in hand with culture preservation. Also, a small e.g. You see how nowadays we manufacture different clothes from silk and cotton. But in the ancient time, we used to find our clothes from the skins of different animals. But those animals, they first slaughter them. After slaughtering them, they take their skin and produce the clothes. But nowadays, we are using silk and cotton. And those animals that they were being killed, nowadays they are in the parks and they are attracting tourists. As we all know that the tourist attraction is the main thing that earns a high income in our country, Rwanda. So we are developing simultaneously preserving our culture.
Confident. You two are in trouble today. Can you give them more reasons as to why you really feel our culture is under threat from this constant technological development that we're continuing to see? Maybe you can support him.
Yeah, as you see, you've said about the Akagoro Wakababje, you know, so?
Yeah.
Yeah, that Akagoro Wakababje, do you think that it's still there?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
For me, I think that Kagoro Wakababje is not still there because of these television programs. You find everybody is watching Manchester Arsenal. You find those, even ladies these days, they support football. You find them seated in these football cinemas, those where they show footballs. That means that Kagoro Wakababje, the time to go and spend the time with another Babje, she's there watching football. Then it means that even that Kagoro Wakababje is not still there. We are dropping our culture, we are modernizing the Cristiano Ronaldos, we are seeing the Messis, and we are making them most up to our culture more than the culture we used to have. Then our kids, when they grow up, do you think they'll follow the Kagoro Wakababje? No, I don't think so. After abandoning that Kagoro Wakababje, your kids will never even know that Akagoro Wakababje was there. Your kids will continue where they found you going to. If they found you making modernization more than the culture you used to have, that means even your kid will promote the modernization more than the culture. And they forget that. And they will abandon the culture.
Agnes, are you worried that this is what is actually happening today? Is it true that even if the Kagoro Wakababje is there, but the rate at which it happens is slowly reducing, because he says we are now spending more time on our technological devices, watching TVs, and so on and so forth.
No, I still don't agree with these people, because you said in his speech you heard even ladies. Even ladies. So do you know why he said even ladies? Because long time ago we weren't allowed to go in public, speak to people. That's why you just think even ladies are not going to watch movies. So we're adopting something useful to our people. Don't you think that education for ladies was important? Many people have role models, the women role models? They're there.
Yeah.
I can give you an example of our Madame Jeanette Kagame.
Yeah.
She's a role model to many people. So do you think that if she was just there behind, not standing in front of people speaking and something like that, don't you think that her views or her opinions, her mind of development would be just collapsed there?
But his point is, the technological advancements that we now have TV screens, which we are spending more of our times on than this
They have the smart
cultural, traditional issue or thing that we used to do of sitting together with parents and talking about our issues. This is what he's saying.
Okay, the thing of sitting together and the reason that caused them to sit together, discuss, it's just they used to call the children, sit down and advise, tell them you have to do this, do that, and take them to the editorial, I don't know, something like that. But that's because they were in schools. This time they send you to school, you study, get the knowledge, either get the knowledge, the necessary knowledge. They used to do that because they didn't have schools. But this time, they're giving even the more knowledge you need. They give you knowledge, you go back home, you tell your dad, I've got this, I've got this. And he's going to add the little they didn't give you.
And add them there. Daniela, do you agree with him
No,
on
I
that
am
point
still-
of spending more time on TVs than
No, I am
these
still
other issues? Yes.
disagreeing, because I told you that, as I told you before, looking or spending more time on TV, they do it during their leisure time, enjoying their hobby. They didn't do it in the time of conversation of the family, because I know that because of the modernization and technology, every home of every family have a schedule of the day. And on the schedule of the day, I know that there is a place of the conversation at our home. There is a place of the conversation, the hobby time, even also to do other daily activities of at our home. So they enjoy those televisions, even different things during their hobby or leisure time. And also what I can add on, as he used to give us an example of finding women looking for cinema in the main hall together with the men, all the boys. But what I want to tell, that's a fact of the woman emancipation. They have got the right of just just feeling free in everywhere they are. Because you know that before long ago, girls and women used to stay at home and doing different activities of home, but they used not to go in different events or parties. But that's the fact of the woman emancipation. That's our modernization and technology together bring to our culture, and it's good because also they are useful. And also, if they are saying that, if they are sure of what they are saying, please, I want them to give the statistics.
Okay, give us statistics. If you're really sure of what you're saying, on how technology is affecting our culture, the ladies want the facts.
How technology is a threat to our culture. This shows that women, over 15%, are now fans in football. And this shows that women, over 35%, they spend their time on action movies. And women, over 5%, they are over these romantic movies. So imagine the other percentages which is going to remain. These are women who do not take care of their children because of their work they have. Remember, we are modernized today, so they spend more time at their work, then they come at the mid of the night when children have slept, then they wake up maybe at 5:30 in the morning. You can't know. They just go early in the morning, they come late in the night.
You asked for facts.
No.
Do
I
you
am
agree with
still-
those numbers? What's your source?
No. Yeah.
My source is Google.
Google.
Yeah, Google
Google is
runs
his
the-
source.
Google is the source.
Do you agree with those numbers?
No,
Because
no.
he says, listen to these numbers. He said 5% are watching action movies and not romantic movies.
Yeah, 5% for romantic movies, 35% for action movies, and the other 15% for football.
How does that affect the family values?
So this affects family values because a woman is going to spend time on football, not just spending time on his children. He's going to spend time on movies, not just by his children.
And you blame that on technology?
Yeah, I blame that.
But I think that is teaching our people. We are learning. But with the social modernization has brought the equality. This, we are allowing our women to go to work to earn income to the families. So if they're going to work and they come that late night, the husband is there. Oh, they send their children to school and they're getting the knowledge, and the mom is earning money. So you're not confusing me.
Daniela, do you want to say something about those numbers?
Yeah, just those numbers. If he tells us that it's the Google source, I'm not agreeing with him because if you say that Google contains many things. So the real source, the exactly one, is not. He's just. He is not telling the right source because Google contains different sources. They may all be. They are also the www memo online. They may be also www.quora.com. So Google contains different things. Tell us the exactly source. And also, I want to tell you, if also it can be true, but I'm not sure. I'm sure that they are not true. If they are true, so we want to tell you that if 35% of the women join the action movies, as my colleague said, they shall be earning the income and they shall develop their families. So they shall not be acting zero work, but they shall bring in the income. As I've told you that the culture, together with the technology, it will bring for us the development.
You want to clarify something?
It looks like
Very quickly, then we go for the break.
yeah,
Yes.
it looks like they are not the one acting. They are just seated there watching.
Yeah.
After watching those movies, they spend a lot of their time watching those movies. After that, their kids, they don't know if they have taken shower, they don't know if their kids have eaten. They are just saying, if they have Mkozi called Erneste, he tells, Erneste, have those kids eaten? Have those kids eaten? Erneste says yes, even if they haven't eaten. She continues watching those movies. Then you find that even that time you're telling us that women are there going to work to earn that money, but they are not there going to work and earn that money and abandon our courage of teaching our children what was there in ancient days. It's not earning money and abandoning our culture.
You're saying they're sitting, spending time there, other than to take care of their children.
Yeah, they don't take care of the children. They are watching movies. And even when they go for the jobs, when they go for working, you know, they might work many hours, more than the hours they spend at home. She might come at home like at 10:30 p.m. at night. Then the children are already asleep, like the way my colleague said. When they are asleep, she wakes up early in the morning at 5:30 a.m. in the morning. She puts on, she goes for a shower. Then the first kid wakes up, oh, good morning, mommy, I'm going to school. That's the only word they talk about. Good morning, mommy, I'm going to school.
And you feel this is...
And I feel
technology is to blame for all
the
this.
technology is to blame for that. If it wasn't technology, that lady will be seated there at home watching for those kids. That lady is going for working, not to make development in the family. She's there going to satisfy her needs. First of all, she's going to satisfy being with a big phone. She's going to satisfy being seated in front of a big screen. You know, she's never there fighting like the gentlemen. The gentlemen of ancient days, they used not to allow their ladies to go for work. You know why? That's because even that lady, she's going to be attracted. She's going to attract many guys who are going to see her. That means you find the gentleman in problems. That's because of technology. If it wasn't technology, that lady would be seated at home being watched by nobody unless her children.
I feel your disagreement, I feel your pain, I feel the anger, but I want you to hold it. And maybe if we take this break, we might avoid what might happen just now if we don't take this break.
Yes.
And that is why I want you to hold your thoughts, and we're taking this very short break right now. We want you to keep tweeting, talk to us. We're looking at the bittersweet parts of technological advancements. The gentlemen are saying we are threatening our cultural values by advancing technology. The ladies are stuck to their guns. They're saying no. Actually, what's happening right now, we're advancing and improving the situation that we are in, because technology is bringing, more development and more empowerment to the women. And this is what we want you to talk to us out there and tell us. What are the tough things that technology is causing to our cultural values? What are the issues that you feel continue to happen that might hamper our cultural values based on technological advances? And if you feel there's nothing, also share with us. Use the hashtag debate411. And of course, what we are also doing tonight is saving Kagire. Look at the numbers on your screen, and if you feel touched, you can definitely contribute anything, because he needs us. And we'll be coming back in a very short while. Do stay with us.
Lock them out. But if you're coming to our church and there are clear guidelines about dressing, you come knowing that I have to put on a long skirt.
Again, we say you have all these kind of people coming to church and who are not Christians, who do not ascribe to your rules and regulations.
Is this, Anangwe, my point is this. From OAU to AU, it is more than 50 years, because OAU was started in 1963. This is 2015.
And he said it took China 20 years only.
Why haven't you? Why are you Africans not paying your bills? Why are you not paying AU's bills?
I talked of a political way. I talked of a political way.
So the dress code, especially our sisters, when they put in miniskirts or the very tight one, it will be a problem. This is not it's not a matter of pastors standing on the pulpit and teach, do this and this. They must understand it for themselves.
It is not a case of negotiations. It is a case of bringing back the regime and the President Nkurunziza to his senses.
What can you do if you are producing the best product or the best thing that you can do as a professional, and still you have this very few buyers?
You cannot be faint-hearted, you cannot be soft and cope up with journalism. You have to be tough.
We need to see how do we prepare the youth to be able to create jobs. How many can actually understand issues to do with finance? They can't even separate between a bank account and a wallet.
And welcome back. Thank you so much for being with us on Debate 411. My name, as always, is Eugene Anangwe. Are you Team Fawe or are you Team St. Patrick? This is what we're doing right here today on the program. We're looking at the issue of traditions or cultural values versus technology. And do you agree that our culture is under threat from the advancement of our technological stuff? That is what we're talking about right here in the program. I have students from Fawe and I have students from St. Patrick's. And before we went for the break, the ladies were burning to come back and hit back at you guys on what you just said concerning the issue of the position of the women in the cultural days or in the traditional days, and today, where you say that it is technology that has caused this change, which you personally feel is a bad change. Agnes, do you agree with what he said earlier on? Do you feel that based on, technological advancements, ladies have sort of left the position from the understanding that he has?
He just said that the mothers used to sit home, watch their children. But do you think they're going to just tell your child that you have to do like this, do like that, when she's sleeping on an empty stomach? No, this is something we want our children to get to, yes, they need the knowledge, but at the same time, they need to have that food. They need to have the clothes. They need everything. So you're going to work. Yes, you're leaving them at home, but you're not going to work for good. You're coming back. Wait, the time you're going to take, like I'm going to get to buy for them the clothes.
So his representation of that woman is wrong. It's not a correct representation. Daniela, can you tell us more about why you exactly feel that our culture is not under threat from technology?
First of all, I may start on what he said. He said that the cause that the woman remain at home, it's because their husband don't need them to be seen by other guys. That means there was no fidelity there. But now, if the women are outside, even their husband, this shows us that the modernization or the technology had brought for us the fidelity through different families. So they shall not collapse. Another fact that I can say is also the technology or the modernization it improves the standards of living people by protecting them like against the disease. You know that long ago people used to wear, no, they used not to wear the shoes. They used not to wear the shoes. Even also the way they pass, or in different way they used to pass into, there were different dust. Even also there were different objects which can harm them. But nowadays, if we are getting those shoes which come from the technology and the modernization, this will improve the standards of living of people because they shall be protected against the disease which may come from those dust, which may come from those things which can sharp them and harming them through their legs. Yeah.
So it has improved standards of living. Before you come in, let's hear from Confident, because they are saying, in fact, technology is making life better for us. It's not actually a threat at all.
Reality is that whatever you can change is that technology is a threat to our culture. And even people has changed. People have changed from the way of living, from the way of eating, from the way of what they drink. This shows that many people, for now, life expectancy has now reduced from 95 years to 45 years now, especially in Europe. This is caused by what they take, what they drink, especially like these are Red Bull, they drink Coca-Cola, which contains a pesticide, almost 15% for Red Bull. For Coca-Cola is 9%. So this technology which is coming, it is really harming people. It is really killing people. It is reducing life expectancy.
So it's not improving, it's actually a threat. So you wanted to jump in?
I want to add on my colleague's point. Like the way he says, this technology, it's harming people. Yeah, it's not making life for people. Like the way you say, in ancient days, you remember our grandmothers. For me, I still have a grandmother. She's about like 70 years and above. Yeah? That grandmother, she tells me about the way they used to eat. They used to eat potatoes, the sweet potatoes. They used to eat I know it's called the dodo. Yeah, the dodos. They used to eat those nagara sorje. I don't know how they are called. But they used to eat all those to protect their life. That's why they're still alive today. But today you find someone going somewhere for food in a restaurant or anyway. She asks, can you give me chips and chicken and beef, meat, something like that. She will never ask any traditional food. You find that even the traditional food are abandoned. Even the traditional cultures are abandoned. The way of eating, the way of dressing, you find those pesticides, like the way he's saying, they are the one reducing your years. For you, you don't know. The more you take Coca-Cola is the more you reduce your years. Then the ancient days, they were not taking Coca-Cola. They were taking water, and they were taking these local beers. The local beers which are brewed in the traditional way. Yeah. And those local beers used to keep those grandfathers for many years. Today they are taking these beers which are being brewed by Bralewa. You find that they are something like 45% of his pesticide, it's going to kill your father for just 45 years, 50 years. You will never reach your grandfather's years like the way grandfather used to spend many years.
Yes, so what they're bringing here is the aspect of food, because culture for them is not just about how we dress, how we talk to each other, but also there are some traditional foods that we used to hold so valuably. But today, based on technological advancements, we want to eat things that are made faster, you know, with technological stuff, and then we are forgetting these cultural foods.
No. They're talking of food, clothes, and something like that. But do you think that if the person goes to the restaurant and gets fast food, had the culture gone, or had the culture not there, we won't be there celebrating the Omuganura. We all know the Omuganura. Last time we celebrated, had the culture not there, had it gone, we weren't going to celebrate the culture. And another thing they talked of the clothes, what we eat, what we wear, it's not the thing that changes our culture, but we are our culture, but with a different posture, but we our culture. Culture is in the head and heart. If you hold your culture, yes, you're holding your culture. You'll never forget your culture. So you're the culture of your person, and with a different posture.
So whatever we do, we haven't forgotten our culture. She gives examples and says, if we had forgotten about our culture, if we're eating these fast foods or doing this and that, we still celebrated Umuganura. That means we still are cultural people.
This Umuganura, for now, it's just once in a year. But if you try to research, Umuganura was always there in Rwanda once in a week. This Umuganura it was just making a group of people just to talk. It's like a party for today. But we're talking about food. Today food we are eating. Today someone is going to this very good restaurant, he say, I want chips. What is in chips? Do you think the quantity of oil which is there is not going to kill you? It's going to kill you. There is no life expectancy there. But later grandmothers used to take these sweet potatoes, they just take cassava, they put beans, they just eat. They used to live a long time.
A longer life. Daniela, even if we're saying we're celebrating Muganura today, but the rate at which we do it has reduced. We now do it once a year. We used to do it once every week, according to his research. I don't know if it's still Google. Is it Google? So Daniela, what do you say about that?
As Gandhi said in one quote, he says that a nation's culture resides in the heart and the soul of those who is mating. So our culture is still in our head. It is still residing there. So to reduce the level of Umuganura celebration doesn't mean that our culture has been eliminated. No, it is still there. Even back to the food that you were saying. You were saying that many people this time died because of consuming different foods, different meal that they not used to eat. But I want to tell you, those chips comes from the potatoes, Irish potatoes. And I know that they are food that we used to have long time ago.
Oil which is there.
So again, I want to tell you, people die because they didn't know the rate of consuming that food. Me as a person who studied biology, I know the level of consuming food. I know how I will consume different food that I'm not used to consume, so that I may protect my body. Even the doctors, those who didn't know, but this time I know and I am sure that this time they join different doctors, different centre de santé. Also, they join different hospitals so that they may tell them how they will consume the fats, the carbohydrate, the protein. So that was the problem of not knowing the level of the consumption. And
technology has helped you to be able to know that. This is what they're saying, that actually it's helping us. Some things you didn't know about before, now you know. And those who are having problems with their health as a result of these foods you're saying are doing so because they have no information about the quantities that they need to take with these things. So technology has helped them to understand better.
As well as we know, as you're studying biology, not everybody studies biology, by the way. Yeah, most people even fear biology because of, I don't know. Okay, let's talk about this. As well as we know that consuming that food doesn't affect you. But the more you consume that oil inside that food, is the oil affecting you. Are we getting that? That oil and fats in those meat, the chips and livers, the one you being cooked, the one you cook like in modern type, it's the one killing you. The oils, the fats, the whatever you're using to cook.
So you want people to go back to eating the way they used to eat traditionally?
The way they used to eat traditionally, not they go back, but sometimes they change. You know, at our home, I can even spend like a full year without eating cassava and potatoes, sweet potatoes. Yeah, I can spend a full year without eating cassavas and the sweet potatoes. Do you know why? Because they are used to the modern foods. Every day I come from school, I find that there is rice, there is
So slowly
meat,
people are forgetting.
They are forgetting the cultural foods,
yes,
and they are promoting these modern foods which are being brought these early years, these years, not the early years which like our grandmothers and grandfathers. And I've told you that's reducing the percent. They're reducing your years of living. The way the other grandfather, I've told you, the other grandfather, like he used to eat that cassava and spent 90 years.
It made them stronger.
Made them stronger.
Listen, we have 5 minutes, and we're talking about food, and we're making some of us hungry here. As we move closer to the end of the program, I want us to give our final thoughts. Agnes, why exactly do you really still want to tell those who are concerned today that at the rate at which we are modernizing ourselves based on the technology that we have, we are threatening our culture? Why do you, what can you tell them that will make them feel like there's no need to worry?
Okay, thank you. First of all, let me first correct these people. They don't even know the meaning of Omugano. Omugano happened where the season. This was like a season where we Rwandans we've harvested, and you had to take the 10% of our harvest to the king. So it was not per week. It happened just per season. Yeah. Okay. So I still don't agree with the motion, because we want development for our people. And the problem is people, the hate change it is the only way to development. So we want development. We're just adopting that little thing, just to make innovation and make our life easy and simple, but not forgetting our culture. Yes, we under our culture. Something is developing through from our culture. We are developing our culture.
So we are upgrading it.
Yes.
Does this worry you? Do you think that our culture should not be upgraded, should just be left the way it is? Nobody should touch, nobody should add or remove anything?
No, I don't feel like that's the way it is. The way it is, I feel like our culture should be promoted. It should be promoted through unity among the youth. The more you teach the youth about the culture, their culture, is the way the culture is being promoted. But these days, they are not teaching the youth about their culture. No books, no masters to tell about our culture. They are abandoning it in a way that even the young kid who will be born in 2030, he will never know what happened in 2000. What was there in 2000, what was there in 1990, that kid will never know what happened.
Because we are not storing that.
We are not storing it. There are no books, there are no aspects. There are no masters who will tell about the culture. Even the masters are just, you see, the master cultures are just nowhere to be seen these days. Later days, they used to find one gentleman is making the youth in the evening, is calling all youth to tell about the culture, to tell them about their culture.
That is not happening today.
But that's not happening today. What's happening, those kids are never, they don't know even about their culture. They are just WhatsApping, Facebooking, like the way I told you. They spend more of their time on this
technological stuff, and that is a concern for you. By the way, after this, I need to sit down with you. You've got so many stories, real life stories that you have. I would like you to share with me those stories.
Okay, no problem.
As we go confident, very briefly, because we have no more time. Why do you really feel that we need to be concerned at the rate at which we are adapting to technology and threatening our culture?
Starting by what you said, and my fellow student here, he said that there's a man called Abraham Lincoln. He said, no change for immediately, but changes for time to time and slow by slow. So this slow by slow, this means this technology will threat our culture, because now we're having umuganura once in a year instead of once in a week. So this means maybe after 20 years, you can't know, there will be no more umuganura, and there will be no more potatoes and this good food.
So slowly by slowly we are killing our culture.
Yeah, slowly by slowly we are killing it.
Okay.
So I think we should now start to think about our culture and start to forget a little bit about technology.
We forget a little bit about technology. We got 1 minute, all yours. Talk to us. Why do you feel the culture is not under threat?
As we told you that the culture, together with the modernization, developed our country. And also back to the quote that Gandhi had said, is that a nation's culture resides in the heart and the soul of the people. So I'm still focused on it. And also we've showed you the different ways that we shall get the development. And also what I want to add on is that we find the research at www.coralline.com. Also we find the research at www.memoireonline.com. So as a conclusion, by saving our animals, by also teaching those students at history, I know that it is being taught in different classes, so the culture is preserved. People didn't forget their culture, but me, I'm inviting you to visit the libraries, because the books to read are there. Also visit different museums. Me, I've done it. That's why I am still telling you that I've preserved it. So I am encouraging you also to go and read and make the good research about it. You shall see it. And another time, come with the physical facts of the things that you were saying to us.
They should not sit there and waste your time with no physical facts, right?
It's just like that.
It's all the time we had right here. Thank you so much for your insights. The quotation, oh my, everybody's quoting Abraham Lincoln, others Mahatma Gandhi. What were you doing when you were in high school? Who were you quoting when you were in high school? This is very great, and of course we are very, very happy for the level of conversations that we've had right here from the secondary students from Fawe and St. Patrick's. That is all the time we had right here on the program. Remember, the conversation ends right here, but it has to go on and on other platforms like our social media platforms. That is on Twitter at Debate411, or you can tweet me directly at Eugene Anangwe. Keep talking. Talk to us on these issues and other issues that you have out there. And we'll definitely see you again right here, same time, same place, for another debating moment on Debate 411. My name, as always, is Eugene Anangwe. Goodbye for now.
In this debate, I am really a social observer. I want to know what is happening and what people want.
Our issue today is whether raising this drinking age is going to solve this problem.
Maybe if you are a parent, you also have kids at home. Are you going to just give them alcohol because they are 18?
I think the first thing that they should do is just not get some of these guys who do showbiz and take them to some kind of a rehabilitation center.
How do we convince them and say that we shut it down because you exceeded the limit?
Buy it for prevention. Yeah, for example, you have a show somewhere, then you tell your DJ, please, don't exceed 55.
If we assume that Frank is speaking on behalf of the Green Party, and I'm not sure that that is the case, he will tell us.
Well, I'm not sure about that. Can you first clarify that?
Well, you haven't told me.
You need a boyfriend for math. You go to your math teacher. You go to your parents. You have brothers. What you don't understand, go to your brother or sister. He exchanges notes with you. For what?
is an EA production.